Hello, everyone. Welcome to our essential oils and chakras class. I'm so excited about this class. And I will tell you, not because I'm an expert, but just because it is just fascinating. It's so fascinating. And everybody I talk to these days, they're interested in this topic just like I am. And so I'm coming to you as a fellow learner, but we have some amazing shares tonight. My friend Audrey and Yvette are going to bring full circle. They're going to bring us some great information, and I'm going to chime in what I've been learning as well. But I know that you're here not just because you want to learn about chakras, but just because you want to know how this is going to enhance your life, how it's going to impact your health, how you can use these tools, this knowledge to make a difference in your life. That's why we all gather here every Monday night to learn something else, to learn something new. And so exciting. And honestly, just so honored that you have chosen to join us tonight. There's so many of you. I just love seeing all your faces. So thrilled you're here. My husband and I were having this conversation this afternoon about chakras. And I was telling him a little bit about what I was learning. And I said, no, honey, how when you, maybe your eyes are closed or it's dark, but someone is close by you and you feel their presence, that's their energy of them is speaking to the energy of you. And he said, that never happens to me. So we're going to work on him. A side note, but I just assume that everybody has had that experience. And we're going to learn a little bit from Audrey tonight. I'm so thrilled she could join us all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And let me tell you a little bit about Audrey before she gets going. I know Audrey, she's so beautiful. She's engaging. She's very attuned, spiritually aware. She's going to have verbiage around this that I surely am not able to speak yet. But let me tell you a little bit about her, and I'm going to reference my notes so I tell you correctly. So Audrey is the co-founder of Lumeria.
Lumeria. Yeah, New Lumeria.
New Lumeria, co-creator of OmniSync and New Nava Massage. She's a massage therapist. I just love everything she does. She has 20 styles of hands-on wellness practices. She's a holistic health coach. But here's what really thrills me about her. She's working and speaking on the forefront to inspire and create frequency wellness in our world while awakening a personal understanding through of intrinsic centered wellness. She has it going on. So Audrey, take it away, girl, and tell us a little about an overview about chakras and what we can learn tonight.
All righty. So can everybody hear me? Are we good on sound?
You're great.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I have a lot of notes and I'm trying to obviously condense everything for us. And kind of the first thing I want to talk about is getting chakras out of the woo-woo concept, where it's just like, oh, that's just, too spiritual for us. And actually getting into understanding that we actually have these energy centers in our body. So tonight we're talking about the 7 main energy centers when there's actually 180 that our body communicates with. So when we're talking about chakras, it is kind of getting in touch with your multidimensionality of like who you are spiritually. And like Sonia was talking about a little bit of feeling someone in the room, even with your eyes closed, that is our spidey senses. That is us so in touch with our bodies and our own energy that we can feel when a different energy comes in the room. So something really fun, because I love numbers, that I wanted to share with you guys is the 180 energy centers in our body. So when we think how amazing it is that we are created and formed in the image of our creator, we can experience so many similarities in our environments within ourselves. So I have it here noted. The dimensions from the sun to the earth is 108 times 01. To the moon to our planet is 108 times 1. So this number is continually repeated through our environment. And that's also how many energy centers we have. And as we're kind of getting into the chakras, a lot of times we see them as circular patterns, but they're actually triangles, because a triangle is a locating point and it's a rotating triangle. So it creates a force field of drawing energy or pushing out energy into our environment. It's our ability to communicate and connect with our environment. And then the last thing I'm going to note real quick, which is a really fun story, is the heart chakra is made up of 108 energetic pathways to just the heart chakra. And that's one of these multiple chakras. And there was a scientific study I did, which had to do with kind of getting into the understanding of how we're connected to our environment. And there were scientists that had the frequency of the heart chakra. And so if they have the frequency, they can measure it. And they went 9 feet away from the human body. And that is as far as the scientists thought that they could measure the heart chakra. And within the study, the question was kind of asked, well, how much further can you go? And they went 15 feet. That was as far as they could go. And again, the question was asked, well, why can't you go further? And it's because we currently don't have devices to measure the heart's energy. And if you look at what happened in China when 9/11 happened, is the heart energy of China spiked. And if we look at that experience, we know that we are all cellularly, energetically connected to our whole environment. So that's a little bit about how fun it is to play with some of this energy and get to know it. But tonight we're talking about how we can support our bodies with essential oils and how we can really tone into supporting our chakras to connect with that divine self that we are. So now I'm going to hand it off to Yvette, who's going to take over and talk a little bit more about how she uses essential oils within her practice.
There you go. Can you hear me? Okay. Let me get the little box off my screen here. Okay, so good evening, everyone. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the chakras, and as you know, I've been in essential oils for, going on 3 years now. I've been an esthetician for years, Reiki practitioner. I'm going to talk about the first 4. Hearing Audrey speak was so amazing. I love that. My heart kind of gets, I can feel it in my hands and my feet when I start getting excited. I love that. So I'm going to talk about the first 4. And one of the things I want to talk about when you're using essential oils and you're healing and you have the intention of healing your body. In healing, so intention is everything. So set the intention, meditate, pray, journal, like Audrey mentioned, the creator, the source, whoever that is to you. Set the intention for healing. So I'm going to speak first about the root chakra, which is one of the 7 that are very commonly talked about. So the root chakra is your Muladhara chakra. Muladhara Lam is the seed mantra for that chakra. It is the base of the spine or the coccyx. Its color is red and its element is earth. This chakra channels the earth energy upward, and it also connects you down and grounds you into the earth. So grounding or rooting us into the physical world is the main function of the Muladhara chakra. So associated with the spine, legs, feet, colon, adrenal glands. When we're grounded, we are at one with life. And this is the main function. And if we're grounded, the Muladhara will function as intended. So, and what you may not know is when you're grounded into the earth, that the chakras can send down any, energy that we are releasing from our body, and that cannot happen. It cannot expel that energy if we are not grounded, if your Muladhara is disassociated with the earth. So get on the earth, ground, put your feet on the ground, feet on the earth. So important in our society today. Yoga, really great way to ground your body. The warrior 2 pose, the garland, which is that wide low squat that you may be familiar with, or even Indian style sitting half lotus. And imagine drawing the energy up from the earth and sending roots down into the earth. So visualize that if you can and ground yourself. The root chakra balance will provide stability and security in your life. Sexuality, body knowledge, inner security, foundation of self. It is the foundation. So the root is so important for that reason. Physical health and your presence. It will help you use wisely the earth's gifts, essential oils, crystals, metals and minerals and plant essences. So grounding allows you also to use your talents and gifts. So with the root chakra, there are mental and emotional and spiritual issues with all of them. I'm going to touch on just a little bit of them because, as Audrey said, there's so much that we could be here for a long time talking about these. But the most common with the root balance that is so important for everyone here to know and for us to know in society today: fear, trauma, and anxiety. Those are the hallmarks of an unbalanced root chakra. So like I said, get on the earth and ground. When you're grounded and balanced, you're going to feel resourceful, courageous, stress-free. Your senses will be more intense, and you'll be fully present and able to experience life. Eat your root vegetables, like I like to say, that beet juice, and use your oils. So frankincense, I love, love, love. This comes in your premium starter kit. So frankincense is a very, very grounding oil. Do that. Do your little scent tent with your frankincense. So you're going to inhale and you're going to say, I am enough as I am. I am enough as I am. So red jasper, hematite, black tourmaline, obsidian, there are many. So if you have a collection of crystals, I would say go on and even just Google, because some of the ones that I'm not mentioning here, there may be others that you can use in conjunction with that chakra. So the second chakra would be your sacral, is Svadhisthana. Vam is the seed mantra for that. It's between the pelvis and the navel. Orange is the color of that. So nuts, orange foods you're going to want to eat. The physical element is water. And with any of these chakras, drink your water, get that energy flowing. The sacral chakra represents vitality, passion, self-gratification. It's associated with the sacral vertebrae, reproductive organs. It affects circulation, urinary function, and reproduction. A balanced sacral chakra will carry the ability to be mindful, feel energized, confident. It's your creative energy. Your emotional intelligence, your sexual satisfaction, passion, and the ability to embrace change, which is pretty important nowadays. So to open this chakra, you're going to listen, dance to music that flows, engage in painting or cooking, and engage in communication that resolves insecurities. So if you have triggers, acknowledge the triggers, lean into the triggers, what, why, acknowledge those feelings and release them. Release them. Ground yourself and release. So you're going to do yoga, forward bends, hip openers. The pigeon that I love so much is a really, really great yoga pose for this. Let's see. So with the oils for the sacral, clove, which is in thieves, which is amazing. If you, even in the Welcome Home Starter Kit, you get your orange. So orange is a really great add-on for ER. So this one's great. I am strong and sensitive. And to balance, you're going to use citrine, amber, moonstone, and aquamarine. So the third chakra I'm going to talk about is the solar plexus, Manipura. Manipura Ram is the seed mantra for that. Yellow is the color. The bottom of the sternum and navel. I love that this one is referred to as the place of gems. The Manipura element is fire and is symbolized by the sun. I like to think of it as the sun in your body. So it's important for this chakra to respect that you are a spiritual being in a physical body. You are a spiritual being in a physical body having a physical experience. So this area can be highly affected by stress. So you want to take action. You want to change your environment. You want to avoid alcohol and drugs, learn relaxation techniques, yoga, go for a walk, dance, sing, learn about some breath work and breathing. Cat pose, camel, rabbit, and the plank that we all love so much, really great for this area. So with this chakra, you want to accept your feelings like I've been talking about and release them. Your stomach, kidneys, liver can be affected. It's called the celiac plexus. So I'm going to just leave that. So the complex nerves and ganglia are in that area. So eat yellow foods, lemons, bananas, apples, pineapple, winter squash, acorn squash. And you're going to state with your oils, lemon, peppermint that are in your starter kit. And you can add on your geranium, juniper, and clary sage. I give myself permission to be my authentic self. That's really important. I give myself permission to be my authentic self. Your stones are malachite. Love malachite. Beautiful green color, citrine, tiger's eye. So those are for the third chakra. It's important to note that the three chakras below the heart are principally concerned with the physical body and the world that we live in and perceive it as we are here in the physical presence. So whereas above the heart, they're more of a spiritual nature, and the heart chakra is the bridge between the two. So the heart chakra is in the center, your heart center, where you hold your heart, feel your heart. In yoga practice, you do your namaste. Heart chakra, anahata. It's called anahata. Yum is the seed mantra for that. It's green, a beautiful Kelly green, grass green. I love it. One of my favorite colors. The symbol is air, and it's connected to the thymus. I like to tap it and say, I love and appreciate myself as I am. I love and appreciate myself as I am. So it's the seat of the divine soul or the higher self, the gateway to the higher conscious. The heart chakra is not primarily about falling in love. It's not a sentimental love. It's love fueled by creation. So the same love that causes us to love the rain or the scent of flowers or nature, all the beauty around us. And it is said that the health of the physical heart can improve if we release past trauma. So it's important to do that when you're here in the physical form. Release your past traumas, your emotional pain, and to try not to judge others. Unconditional love flowing through the heart chakra can neutralize negative energies. Enlightened beings such as ascended masters, Christ or Buddha, are mirrors of the loving and all-embracing spiritual potential in every one of us. So they take us beyond our ego into compassion. So compassion, very important. The crystals are the green aventurine, jade, rose quartz. I got one of my favorite rose quartzes here. So you're going to want to eat green foods. Love my green juice, green leafy vegetables, salads. In yoga, the up dog is great. Cow, cobra, or sphinx. Or I like to stretch. If you get in a door frame and pull your arms out and stretch that heart chakra, stretch that area there to open heart openers, we call them. So with the heart chakra, the really wonderful oil that comes in your starter kit is Valor. So blue tansy is in there. So that's really great for the heart chakra. Lavender also in your starter kit. If you're adding on joy, one of my favorite oils, smells so wonderful. Again, I love and appreciate myself as I am. And remember that you are the love that you seek. You first find it within, and then you can see it out. So I'm going to pass it on now, I think, to Sonia. So she's going to go on with the chakras above the heart.
Thank you so much, Yvette and Audrey. Amazing. I feel like there's something really special about identifying what's happening in your body and connecting it with something that's happening energetically and not just looking at it disconnected from your personal power. And I think that's what understanding chakras in the body, it's helping us to, when I heard about the solar plexus area, it some lights turned on about my own physical issues, what I could eat or more different oils I could use. So I love that. And the next one that we're going to talk about was really mind-blowing to me because it is the throat chakra. And that one was really specifically, I was curious about because of the thyroid. It is definitely related to the thyroid, to your voice, to communication, not just the way that you communicate out from your physical voice, but how you communicate to yourself, how you can hear. If you have a blocked throat chakra, you might be dealing with some things like a feeling of a lump in your throat, like you want to speak, but you can't. You can't find your voice. You maybe don't feel that you are heard. So there's this almost like this two-way street of communication happening. And I was so curious about that because, of course, had my own physical challenges there. And when I went to my massage therapist here, I was also noted that this whole area, the neck, the shoulders, the teeth, all of this area is included in that chakra. So when I am holding tension in my neck, that is the throat chakra that needs some work. And so you can apply that as well. That's a little bit of a clue. Oh my goodness. Going to basically back to some elements of what should I be, maybe even the foods that I'm eating. And I wanted to touch on this. I'm going to reference my notes. the throat chakra is light blue in nature, that's the color. And I thought it was curious, in one of the studies that I did, they were talking about the way that you, obviously when we were talking about eating foods that match that color, there's not a lot of blue food. But it's okay. There's water, and Yvette talked about that. A lot of water, blueberries, of course, blackberries that have that blue color. You want to eat things that are going to be nourishing to that element or to that area, and obviously stretching and doing all those things. But I had this little practice that I thought was kind of cool. I would just every day, just for the kick, just for the fun of it. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Not only is did I tell you that the teeth is connected? And having a lot of dental issues, and especially when I was dealing with the mast cell stuff, I was having a lot of trouble. And I thought, oh my goodness, I think this is a clue when you're having a trouble spot in your body. This could help identify grounding yourself every day with an oil, maybe holding a crystal or a stone of that color. Don't worry about knowing the names. It might be too overwhelming for you, but if it's blue, grab it, put an essential oil on it that you love, maybe even grab your Endoflex and just put it right there and just hold it right there while you're saying some affirmations or praying or meditating. There's something about it. It's also very cooling. It's beautiful. And I read that there's like these cones, and Audrey talked about this, like that circular cone. When you're talking about the root chakra, it's coming from down below, from the earth up. But every other chakra up until you get to the top, all of them have cones that move in to the center and out again, open from the back. But the throat is different in that it comes, the energy comes from behind. And Audrey, you can tell me if I'm wrong on this or I'm misled, and it makes sense because then the energy flows out as you're speaking, as you're communicating. And if you don't feel like your personal power is present with you, this is one to pay attention to get those affirmations going. And maybe we can share the affirmations afterwards so we don't go too long tonight. We'll do a little for each chakra. We can put the affirmation with it. We already have some diffuser blends we're going to share with you. Anyway, I love that this one, turquoise is a color for that. I love the turquoise. And the oils you're going to grab, obviously, is frankincense. And we love the blend, Valor, Envision, Hope, and Believe. When I read Believe, I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Believing the whole world is conspiring. Yeah, Yvette has holding it up. The whole world is conspiring on your behalf. The whole world is conspiring on your behalf. And it's just so empowering that belief is that impacts the way you believe about yourself, the way you believe about your contribution to the world, and it allows you to feel freedom to speak. And I just love that. Okay, then the next one, really curious, is third eye. And it's right here. Oh, wait a minute. I got to back up because when I was reading about the throat, it also said submerge yourself in water. And I was just like doing a happy dance. I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder I love a bathtub so much. The ocean, the bathtub. It doesn't take much to get me excited about it. But anyway, so drink your water, eat your blueberries, and go take a bath. That's what I was going to say. Okay, to your third eye is right here. It's actually not in the middle of your forehead. It's a little bit down, about right there. And so what you can do, I love thinking about the third eye has everything to do with your intuition. It's actually why David and I were talking about that sense that you have when somebody enters close to you, but you don't know they're there and you can feel it. That's just a very simplistic way to say it, but it has everything to do with your third eye and the pineal gland, which is in your brain. And you know, when you're assigning body systems to areas, when you know there's energy flow and energy needed, it's kind of curious when you come to one that even scientists don't know everything that it does. Even scientists don't know everything that happens here in the brain, the hypothalamus, the pituitary, the pineal gland, and it is connected to your face. It's connected to your brain, your eyes, your lymphatic system. When you think about looking at someone, have you ever seen a picture of someone and then you've been with them in their presence and there was so much more there? in their presence. There's more to them than what could be displayed in a picture. This has everything to do with that third eye. It's your intuition, the essence of your brightness. I believe it's the light. The element is light, which makes total sense to me when you think about even the scripture verse about the light in the eyes. There's something there. It's beautiful. And sometimes people can get a little weirded out by this when you get into the spiritual conversation, but I think that if we could just take a minute to pause and think about the ways that we have been given creativity, the expressions of the things that are coming from us that we couldn't logically explain sometimes. It's that intuition of knowing, the knowingness. It is something to celebrate that we've been given this. It is not something to diminish or dismiss. And when you are not fully working on all cylinders or energetically in this place, you're going to find that you're going to be stifled in creativity. There is like a block, almost like this. You want to have manifestations and visions for your life, and when you don't have this connection to that inner intuition, you can be depressed. You can get waylaid with feeling aimless. It has to do with your production, your proactivity, the way you're called to purpose. And so it's an important one. Let me go to see. I heard this analogy, and it said this: the sixth third eye chakra is like a stained glass window, and whatever light passes through and hits the wall, it's going to display it. And when you think about the visage, when you think about the face, that's exactly what comes to mind. It's the display feature of your energetic body. The light in the eyes, the countenance, the smile, there's something there that you can't deny. So if you have some issues with perceptions, not really understanding other people's perceptions, the third eye might be one to kind of take a look at. The oils that we're going to use for this is lemongrass and sandalwood, very bright, beautiful. White angelica is my favorite, and that was mentioned. White angelica, literally, it is like a spiritual oil. We use it like a protective oil. And I will mention that the third eye, without being grounded and not having the stability needed, you people that have hallucinations, disconnect with reality, those are clues that is a little bit of an issue. So white angelica, I put it on when I'm praying. I put it in my diffuser. Nutmeg is another good one for that one, and I love that. And let's see, I was trying to remember what it said. Let me put my glasses on about the food, because we didn't really talk about food there, but the crystals, that's what we didn't talk about. The crystals are the clear quartz, and actually if you can get it in a pyramid, that would be even better. You can do blue quartz, you can do amethyst, which is beautiful, beautiful amethyst. And I also like to just put, I know this is kind of crazy, but I'm going to show it to you. Put a little bit of oil on your, if you can get a flat crystal like this. Do you see how it's kind of, whoa, I just dropped it. If you can see that it's kind of flat on one side, can you tell? Put just a little drop of oil. I like the sandalwood, and put it right there. And you can literally put you can put it right on your head, and it will stay for a really long time. And you can sit there and work, as long as you're not like totally doing exercises. You can sit there and just do your affirmations and let it, Yvette said it so well. That intention is so important. I'm picking up that oil for a reason. I'm choosing the stone for a reason, this crystal for a reason. I'm literally believing and receiving what is a gift to me in this life in these crystals. And let's see how far this could stay on. Anybody got any guys? We should say 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's see how much Sonia can do this. Okay, moving on. All right, the next one, last but not least, is the crown chakra. Now, if you have any questions, I want you to put them in the chat, because we're going to have a little Q&A with Audrey and Yvette. So if you have any questions about this, comment in there. The crown is probably obviously one of my favorites, because crowns, hello, let's think about that. The element is, though, thought. Just like the third eye was light in the face. The crown is thought. And as the root chakra, you know, we talked about that cone being connected to the ground, and all the other cones are moving in and out this way. The crown chakra goes up and out. It is the connection to God. It is the connection to, it's like we're on a pendulum and we're connected from above with God's divine energy going through our bodies and then through the ground, connected to the earth as our root chakra. It's a beautiful picture if you think of it like that. And that just so connected with me. But the temple, the top of the head, it connects us to our higher purpose, to God consciousness. It is the chakra of the mind, the way we're thinking, the way we're believing we are accepted and loved by our creator. And I felt like that this was an important one when someone is struggling spiritually, and that is or maybe that they're not connected to the whole. And Audrey talked about everything is interconnected. When you don't have that and feel that, that is the crown chakra that needs to be emboldened, empowered, invigorated. And over what's so cool is when it's in alignment, there is so much connection with everyone else, with everything else. You can go outside and be completely mesmerized and thrilled and filled spiritually by what you see, because it's for you. This whole world is for you. If you don't have that connection, there's a disconnect with, you are alone, isolated. You could actually, you know, feel aimless and hopeless. And so when people are dealing with depressive thoughts and anxiety and things like that, we want to really focus on the crown. Meditation is super important. Having quiet time, being okay with quiet, being okay with listening. And anyway, the other colors that are associated with this are white and purple. So I just love, even though it's not listed, I just love this. I love any kind of a crystal that you can see that's bright and white and you can see through it. There's something that reminds me of the crown chakra there. So again, you can hold it, you can put an oil, you can put it in your pocket, you can say an affirmation before you go throughout your day. I think it'd be cool to pray over all these areas, these chakras, before you leave your door, before you move out into the world, before you have a conversation. Your physical body is responding to your spiritual, emotional being. It's all interconnected. And let's see, my last but not least, we are going to grab the cedarwood oil, helichrysum, lime, rose, jasmine, lavender. Oh, I just love it. And the selenite, I think is the way you say it. It's the, you know, those, it looks like a piece of shard. I don't have one. I know you have one, don't you, Yvette? She's probably got one. It's like, it's almost like this white, beautiful, but it has like jaggedy edges. It almost looks like a spire of a cathedral or something. That's on my list. Got to do that. But anyway, this has to do with inspiration, grabbing your inspiration oil, your myrrh, and again, drop it on a stone. You use these, whatever. I have a little plethora of things just right in front of me tonight. And as they've been talking, I've been grabbing it and putting an oil on it and just playing around with it. I think that's one of the things, is just play around with it. Okay, I'm going to pass this on. That was their last one, is the crown. I'm going to pass it over to Audrey. She's going to do a little wrap up, and I'm going to see if there are any questions. And if there are, Audrey, I'm going to raise my hand. Okay.
Alrighty, sounds good. So I grabbed selenite really quickly because we were talking about it, and it's one of my very favorite crystals. I use this, like we mentioned, that I'm a massage therapist. It pulls out like so much. I mean, technically it pulls out, but it also, like, or instead of pulling out, we want to think about expanding. So expanding wellness within the body and regrounding. That is this guy. So if you don't have selenite, I would highly recommend it. You can also like set your oils on it and purify your oils with selenite. So recapping a little bit, something that came in as we were kind of talking about some of the foods that we can eat. Ningxia is amazing. It has blueberries. It has, I think, oranges, like all of this amazing body support with all of these fruits and vegetables. that is absolutely purely available to you. And something really fun to keep in mind is it's a pure, I believe it's like a smoothie. It's like pure, what is the word? Sonia, maybe you're gonna have to help me on this one. It's a puree. It's a puree, right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so it's a puree. So that means they're not taking out nutrients. Everything is all in this, and you can get that kind of on a cycle if you want to do with your ER order, which is super easy to do. Another thing. Okay, so why to stay in your knowing and keeping, why is it so important to keep your chakras super aligned and completely grounded? This gets into a little bit of what I do with New Alchemy and Design, my company, New Lemuria. And it's all about the experience of a reflective reality. Hopefully I'm not dropping too much heavy stuff on you, but just kind of think about this. So if we live in a reflective reality, which is what we experience externally is a reflection of what's going on internally. If we have junk that's going on in here and we're not feeling balanced here, we are going to experience that same thing externally. So what we are able to do with essential oils is balance ourselves. How essential oils really support our body is, I took notes here for you so I can use the exact specific words, is when we use essential oil, which is seed to seal, as most of you know, meaning that we have a product that's completely congruent with where it comes from in nature, absolutely pure, that comes to our doorstep, where then we get to experience it in its most pure form. We inhale that smell, or we put it into our food. That's affecting the olfactory nerve when we're talking about smelling it, right? Just diffusing it. It's affecting the olfactory nerve. The olfactory nerve affects the limbic brain. The limbic brain is responsible for behavior, emotions, fight or flight response, how you experience your external reality. If those things already, let's say you have traumas in your life or previous experiences that aren't in alignment with who you're desiring to be, you're going to have some run-in. Where oils come in is with Young Living's oils, as pure as they can be used as medicine. And I say that lightly. So be intuitive with your own self with that. But you're able to support your body, support your emotions, support the fight or flight response, and begin to support the energy centers of your body. So that's what I have to say. I'm going to now pass it off. Hopefully that was a good little wrap up for you guys of why this is so, so fun to support your body with. And it's so simple and so easy. And I'm going to pass it over to my sweet friend, Yvette.
Hey there, Sonia, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Okay, so it's been asked. So how do you know, and either of you could answer this, postpartum healing, which gemstone and oil and combo would be good for that? If that's even a thing. He, she says. So I'm thinking, she said Miss Chakra, which chakra combo would be good for that? I'm guessing it's the sacral. And what do you think, Yvette?
Well, because of the physical body, I would probably guess the lower three. I would address all of them, honestly. That's, maybe Audrey has another perspective too.
So postpartum healing. Yeah, that's a good question, Mariah.
I would say frankincense and copaiba. Frankincense for grounding, copaiba for, copaiba is just amazing within itself.
Yeah.
That's what I would add to that.
Love it.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see how long I can hold the gemstone. I'll get back to you on that. I'm going to do a test. We'll see. All right. Grounding is her favorite oil. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Okay, I think that might be all. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. And then I'll pass it off to you, Yvette. There was an analogy, because sometimes you can, if you look at the markers for each of these chakras, what body systems are involved, you might think, oh my gosh, I'm a total wreck. Every single one is a mess. But what I've learned and what I've read and what I've experienced and what seems to be resonating as true is this: just like when you're starting to get a cold, you might start with just a sore throat, and then you get the runny nose, then your head is stuffy, and then you're like, one thing definitely impacts the rest of the, it's a train. It's in like fashion, healing also follows suit in that same form. So when you address one chakra, like the one that's maybe the root issue, it's going to beautifully address all the others as well. And as you heal, and maybe someone wants to speak to that, but don't think of it in terms like there's so much, I'm so like messed up. No, we all feel that way. But for me, like, I know I was like totally resonating with the throat being the first one, but then it was like enlightening to see how many other things are still needing to be worked on. And it's a constant journey of growth. We're always changing and moving, and our experiences are shaping. And so it's not an arrival, it's a journey, which is so nice that we're in this together. I think we have one more thing. Let's see. One more question. She joined a few minutes late. Maybe it was covered. What is the significance of crystals? Yvette, you want to cover that?
Okay, you know what? I don't have like a really amazing explanation for that, other than they are from the earth, and you can use them to help. Maybe Audrey has a perspective with the energy, how the energy affects your body. But I know putting, like, let's say the rose quartz with your heart can help. You know, can help with the healing and the energy there. I know when you do Reiki, we do put I do put crystals on each chakra to help with the energy there. You know, using that, because I said it's from the earth. I know you use crystals in your home to ground, put them in different areas in your home, like feng shui, put them at the corners of the bed. They're just, I'm going to say grounding a million times, because it's been really important for me in my personal journey to be grounded. And it's something that I focus on every single day. But I think that's what crystals are really helpful for me. But again, they do interact with the energy and the chakras. And so maybe Audrey has a little more on that. But that's why I use them. And like you said, too, with the intention stone, putting the oil on them, smelling them, holding them. I put them in my bra almost every day. So, you know, just because I feel like they help me. So that is the explanation that I have as far as, you know, impacting the energy in the body. Audrey, do you have anything to add?
Do you want me to add anything to it? That was pretty good.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, so as kind of a frequency wellness, I guess, quantum celebrant is what I'm calling myself now. Everything has a frequency. My water, it has a frequency. This oil, it has a frequency. And this selenite has a frequency. Everything has a frequency. So as I believe Sonia mentioned in the very beginning of this talk, clarity of intention is so huge. So when we are in cellular atomic belief bridge accord with the fact that the selenite can take negative toxins out of my body, it's going to do that. But as soon as I start saying, actually, no, this doesn't work, I'm going to stop the ability of what it can actually do, whether it can actually work. So within that concept, yes, it's a belief bridge, it's an experience, and it's also made in our environment that is so easy. And as I love to think of us as stardust of the cosmos, of the universe, in these physical incarnated beings, something like this is very grounding for us, and it's easy to agree with as a crystal. And so, yeah, some of these different crystals can support the different energy centers, but then at the end of the day, everything is just frequency. So I could charge this selenite and have the same frequency in this oil. And the question is, which one do I want to use? Maybe both, because why not live in abundance? But that's what crystals, I think, are super powerful for. That's what I have.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, Yvette's going to wrap it up for us. Gosh, that was so fun. Yvette, you're going to do a little, tell us a little bit about how to, we have some questions about getting the essential oils and getting crystals.
Yeah, I can respond to that thread too. I don't know where she's located near us, but I know where to get crystals. I know in Kansas City, I buy a few places. There are a few places here in Kansas City that I get them. You can get them online, but yeah, I would get recommendations and find a good reputable place. I get nervous about buying them, you know, on Amazon and places like that, because you just never know. And maybe Audrey has some perspective on that too. But I want to say kind of what she touched on with the oils. You know, why not live in abundance? Because we have such amazing tools with these essential oils. The frequency of all of the oils, they're so amazing. They come from so many parts of the world. They come from so many plants. They come from, I mean, it's just amazing. I say it all the time, and you probably see me post it all over the place, that Gary Young was such a visionary to bring all these plants and create all these oils and for us to have these tools. So the best way to get started is a premium starter kit. Absolutely amazing. You have everything you need with all the chakras that we discussed tonight. There's an oil in there for every chakra that you can use. You can sign up for ER, add those few others, really inexpensive, like your cedarwood and your orange, really wonderful. You want to do that every month so you can, you know, collect more. You can replace all the items in your home with some non-toxic essential oil-based products. So definitely reach out to the person who brought you here to sign up for their referral link. And remember, starting kit is a starting place. Like I said, all of the chakras that we talked about tonight, you can address with the oils in your starter kit. You have a diffuser, you have your Nisha, which is amazing. Again, I didn't even think of that until I'm so glad you mentioned that, because there's so many foods in that puree that can address all of these things, because how could you eat all that every day? So the Nisha is awesome. So I think that's everything. Yeah, do your premium starter kit, do your ER, acquire more oils as time goes on, get your points, earn your free oils, and you know, do your transfer buying of all those products you buy anyway. So reach out to the person who brought you here tonight, and thank you so much for joining us. We love you and we're so grateful for you. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.